with a sack of rice.
I love how nobody's gonna know what we were saying. Oh well. By the power of rice bags, I will punish you with it. Alright, let's go on with the first day of trials for our turnabout Big Top.
Giggity.
Yes. December 29th, 9:43 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby number 5.
Damn it.
Oh no, there's Max! Why does he look more painted than I do when I wear makeup? I just asking that question now. Good morning, Max. Max? Milk. What? If I don't have my glass of milk before I go on stage, then I can't function, sweetie. Stage? Don't worry, there won't be a stage. All you have to do is sit down. I guess. Yuck. Max is really nervous. That's understandable. Hey, sweeties. What? Don't you think I should you don't think I should fly, do you? Huh? You know, you gotta make a good first impression. When I enter the room, maybe I'll fly in and warm up the crowd a little. No. We can't have you flying around the courtroom. It wouldn't be right. Imagine if you hit someone. Don't worry, Max, just do what Nick says and everything will be okay. Oh, sweetie. What is it this time, Max? Why don't you try flying into the courtroom? What? I can see it now. The dashing young lawyer flying fabulously in from above. One glimpse of that and everyone in the room will be on your side. Why does this sound like a very over-the-top musical performance? Max, really, no one needs to fly today. Nick, what's that look in your eyes? I like the sound of that. The dashing young lawyer flying fabulously. Oh my gosh, that man. 10 a.m. in courtroom number 2. Ah, there's Von Garma. And now the case will go as follows. Oh no, she's got the whip at the ready. You what? Yana? Get on with it. Sorry, I just realized the defendant's name is Billy Bob Johns. So... Well, isn't the defendant also known as Maximilian Galactica? Yes, Your Honor. He does often go by that name. You know, my grandchild is a huge fan of his. I think everyone here wouldn't mind if we called the defendant Maximilian Galactica. It sounds more friendly. I wonder if that is to our advantage. Ms. Von Carmel, your opening statement, please. I hope you didn't bother thinking you would win this one, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Eh? The spirit channeling trial was a sham. I refuse to acknowledge its legitimacy. It did not count, do you hear me? She must still be upset about what happened last time. You have no chance. Zero, zilch, nada. I am not losing this case. Why don't you ask? Why, you ask? Because it is not in the nature of a Von Gamma to lose at anything. I guess being born with the name Von Karma is a free pass to be arrogant and annoying. Oh my gosh, Maya. Maya. Watch and learn, Mr. Phoenix Wright. I'll show you the textbook procedure for proving how absolutely guilty you are. Me? Guilty? What are you talking about? It will be my ultimate revenge. But it's not like it's gonna bring your dad back. There. Opening statement complete. Now, hurry and wrap up this waste of time. Very well. You may call your first witness, Ms. Von Karma. Detective Dick Gumshoe, get up here now. Oh, he looks so sad. I want to hug him so badly. Sorry to keep you from work, as I'm sure you need every penny you can earn, Detective. Don't mention it. It's no trouble at all. I've been looking forward to this. Very well. Would you like to begin by shedding light on the events in question? At your service, sir. Alright, Detective. You may proceed with your testimony. The details of the events. Okay. The night of the crime, the snow was falling until 9:40 p.m., making it extremely cold out. All of the circus performers gathered in the big top to practice for their routines. The practice session broke up around 10 p.m. The murder itself took place in the plaza in front of the lodging house around 10:15. The victim was found bent over a wooden box dead as a doorman nail. The cause of death was blunt force trauma that snapped a vertebrae in his neck. Ooh. So he potentially was hit by something really bad. I see. He was beaten to death. Here is the autopsy report for the victim. The court accepts this into evidence. A blunt object. Very well. Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination. Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, I know I picked the wrong time to pick up my pizza, Austin.
Alright.
I think the dude fell asleep.
Let me ask you about the snow. It was nearly a blizzard up until the time of the crime. Did it pile up? It wasn't a big deal. Maybe about 1.5 inches was on the ground. The snow froze in place and stayed on the ground until the next day.
Well, Austin, what Tim put in the chat is fucking disgusting.
Let's see. He's gone!
No, he left! I'm
There's
so
gotta be
sad.
more to
Alexa
this.
played Despacito.
What's the matter, Nick?
Please don't,
Don't actually. I need to
please.
look at the court record.
Oh, thank God.
Mr. Gumshoe, what were the members of the circus doing on the night of the crime? Wait. Can I look at my evidence?
I'm gonna sleep. I'm gonna sleep.
A cheap ring with an eerie sparkle from T to R is engraved on it. Let's press this one. When you say all the performers, who do you mean? Everyone but the dancers and the staff were there. Regina the Animal Tamer, Mo the Clown, and Ben the Ventriloquist. And of course, the defendant, Maximilian Galactica, and his victim, the Ringmaster. Oh, I almost forgot. Regen the Tiger was also there. Out of curiosity, what about the circus monkey? When I was investigating yesterday, he happened to snatch my wristwatch. Detective, you are welcome to file a police report after these proceedings. Judge, what are you doing? The practice session broke up around 10 p.m. After the practice went over, where did everyone head off to? Regina was playing with Regia, and Mo went back to his room tired from work. Ben the ventriloquist went to the front gate, absorbed in his own world. The ringmaster and Max went off to the ringmaster's room to talk privately. Talk privately, huh? That was awfully suspicious. You wouldn't happen to know what they were talking about, would you? It seems that they were negotiating Max's salary. Actually, Max was asking for Regina's hand in marriage. The murder itself took place around 10:15. I'd like to know a little bit more about this, a bit more specific about the events of 10:15 p.m. Okay, not a problem, pal. We got a witness that told us— OW! This is totally meaningless. Time to move on. Alright. We'll just have to revisit this testimony later. Detective Gumshoe, would you mind telling us how the victim met his end? Found bent over a wooden box dead as a doornail. A wooden box. That's right. The victim must have been carrying the wooden box when he was killed. Carrying the box, huh? It was a rather strange wooden box, Your Honor. What do you mean? Well, it was much heavier than it looked, and not to mention, it was locked. Locked? Why, you say? Okay, so now the box... The victim was hunched over this 20-pound box. It boasts a small but strong lock. This may be my only chance, so I might need to get some questions about the box, about the lock, or about the contents. What should I do? Box, lock, or contents? Just in case, save. Oh my gosh. The contents, I guess? Do you mind telling us what was inside this box? Well, we found the box was slightly taller than Fort Knox. We took it back to the station, cracked it open. What we saw inside was this little bottle. A bottle? What is that, Detective? Exactly what it looks, Your Honor. It's a condiment bottle. What's inside the bottle? What? Muffin? What's going on?
You said the evolution of how the evolution of video games, battle royale games work.
Mm.
It's where he goes like, it just shows Tetris Battle 99 as like a ripped guy while it's standing over Apex Legends.
Nice. It's filled with pepper. Pepper? Why in the world was it locked inside that big box? There was only one little bottle inside that huge box? I wonder if it has some sort of special meaning. Found inside the wooden box, the victim was hunched over. It contains pepper. Cause of death was a blunt force trauma that snapped a vertebrae in his neck. According to the autopsy report, the murder weapon was a blunt object, correct? You've done your homework, pal. And you haven't found this murder weapon, have you? Police are searching for it as we speak. My theory is that something happened with... That is something the perpetrator ran off with. You would think so, especially since you didn't find it at the scene. No. I bet he made it disappear with magic. Gumshoe? Well, I think we had a good feeling of details of the event now. I guess that's all we're gonna get at Gumshoe in this case. You mean all we're gonna get out of him is that little bottle of pepper? Now that we have wrapped it up with the detective, I'd like to call my next witness. Eh? I'm not even off the stand yet! Obviously. But that's due to you being slow and unstable to take a hit. Or a hint. I don't know, but wrapped up has such a such a mean sound to it. I'm a sensitive guy. Oh, Gumshoe. Thank you very much, Detective Gumshoe. You may step down now. Ms. Von Karmer, call your next witness. I would like to call Mr. Benjamin Woodman to the stand. She must be talking about the ventriloquist. I wonder if Trilo's gonna show up on the stand as well. Probably. Oh no, his puppet's beating him up. Please state your name and occupation.
There was no checkpoint.
My name is Triloquist. I am employed as an operative tender. Excuse me. The witness called... the one who's called to the stand was Mr. Benjamin Woodman, ventriloquist. That robe must be cutting off your circulation. I said I was a singer. Maybe you don't believe me. Fine, I'll grace you with a song. Ahem. Me. The world of war. Exciting and daring, guilt or innocence, decided by the judge, dressed up as a woman. Well, what do you think? Von Karma's not having it. And the judge doesn't even know. Has a good rhythm. It's just the lyrics. They leave something to be desired, so to speak. Trilo. You know better than to insult the judge. Away. Okay. Shut up. Just look at your nose. You would think you have a sense to fix it. This is it's so ugly. I want to punch you in the face on the off chance a swelling would help. Now that your nose is the reason you'll never be a A-lister. Celebrities must really enjoy seeing everything that flashes in their minds. What's going on here? Order! I demand to know who the witness is. Don't worry about me, sir. I'll let Trilo handle this. Ow! You won't get anywhere trying to figure out this witness. Now, let us proceed. Once practice was over, I left the tent with the stooge. I mean clown. Once we got to the lodging house, I ditched him and went to the back to the plaza's entrance. When I saw Max heading towards seeing the crime, he was the only one heading that way. How could that punk not be the killer? Then the police showed up and took Magic Boy away. You said Maximilian Galactic had heading towards the scene? You're sure of that? Without a doubt. He had silk hat, cloak, and his dumb white roses on his chest. How can you miss someone with that crazy getup and his nose stuck up so high? That's enough. I think we get the picture. Just one thing. You said you ditched the clown? That's right. Dress boy. That's right, Dress boy. Well, since you weren't with him, does that mean the clown committed the crime? He's got a point. Oh, that's a shame. It's a nice theory, but the clown can't be the culprit. Why is that? Here's absolute proof. A silk hat? It was found in the crime. It was found at the scene of the crime. It belongs to the defendant. Ah. Without question, he was wearing the signature hat during practice. If the clown was the murderer, there would be no reason for this hat to be at the scene. Welcome back. Well done, Miss Von Karma. Your prosecutorial skills are unrivaled. Well done. Takes a bow. Well, thank you for Stetton. Mr. Phoenix Wright, what do you have to say? Okay. I guess she's the boss again. Okay, I need to cross-examine these people. One practice was over, I left the tent with the clown. The clown. You're talking about Mo? Of course I'm talking about the old fur. He's so pathetic, I can't stand him. I love how even the ventriloquist dummy can't even stand the clown. Just a little bit of exercise and his makeup would be running all over the place. Once practice was over, he was 9/10 of the way from kneeling over for good. Poor guy. We didn't have any choice, so Ben took him back to his room. And then, when it comes to being a first place loser, that guy is ahead of the pack. Then what happened? Once we got to the lodging house, I ditched him and went back to the plaza entrance. Why the plaza's entrance? To do some thinking, of course. That was awfully cold that night, especially with all that snow on the ground. You wouldn't be thinking your nice warm lodging house have been a better idea? Mr. Phoenix Wright? I think you should leave the thinking to the witness. But I'm a good thinker. At least my teachers always thought said I was. When I saw him next time towards the scene. Okay. Are you sure it was really Max Galactica? Of course I'm sure. How could you mistake someone wearing such snobby three-piece getup? Snobby three-piece getup? Get the wax out of your lawyers nowadays. You're like to do a brick wall. Max's three-piece getup. Jeez, could you be any more dense? All together now. Silk hat, cloak, white dresses. Thank you. Nick, I think you should put a little more effort in preparing your questions. Okay. He was the only one who could... How could that punk not be the killer? You saw Max, and only Max, right, Trilo? That's right. And that makes him the killer. There was only one person heading that way at night. That makes quite a bit of sense. It makes Max one suspicious character. There's more to the story than meets the eye. Is there something amiss here? No problem, there is no proof. Ben only saw Max. Yeah, did you... Wait. He was talking to... He went to talk to the ringmaster. How do you know he was the only person he saw? This is a bit strange, don't you think? What's strange? That you only saw Max. Doesn't it seem like you should have saw someone else as well? What are you going... Where are you going with this, Mr. Wright? Who else do you suppose the witness could have seen? Russell Berry? That's the victim. That's correct. If Trilo was at the entrance of the plaza, he should have seen the ringmaster as well. Yeah! Obviously, the ringmaster arrived at the scene of the crime before the witness could have seen him. Anyone with sense could have figured that one out. What are you talking about? The ringmaster and Max went together to the ringmaster's room. Is that, according to the defendant, a likely story? It makes a million galactica.
Can we just shut? Why do you have to make every German sound like they're stuck-up bitch?
If Maximilian Galactica was supposed to be in the ringmaster's room, why was he just witness stated at the one at the crime scene? Ah, I see. It seems that this stage have another question other than the witness's testimony. There's clearly no conclusive contradictions. He's right. A brilliant judgment, Your Honor. Now, let's move on with this testimony. Trilo wouldn't have an ulterior motive for incriminating Max, would he? Well, Max is part of that bitter love triangle with Regina. Which is probably why Max clunked him over the head. Nick? Wasn't Ben the one who was knocked over the head? Yeah, I think so. I don't know anymore. Just in case save. And then the police showed up and took Magic Boy away. Let's press that one since I haven't pressed it yet. About what time did the police arrive at the scene? I suppose it would have been around... Hey, what time was it? I think it was a bit after 10:30, I think. Breakfast ended at 10 p.m., so you hung around the lodging house the entire time? I guess that sounds about right. Wasn't it awfully cold? I can't believe you just stand outside in that weather. Well, the truth is... Well, you shut up, you big-nosed dope. Why are you telling him anything extra? I can't believe that we're just gonna stand Why can't you believe that we just stand outside in that weather? Well, maybe because you were waiting for someone? What? Who said we were waiting for someone? Mr. Phoenix, right? We can do without all your offhanded theories. Ooh,
Can she just shut?
But this witness is cracking under pressure already. I'm onto something. Mr. Wright. Who do you think the witness is waiting for in that cold night? I have a feeling he was probably waiting for Regina. Well, if he was waiting someone outside the cold, it was for one person. The one person only, and he was waiting for the animal tamer, Regina. Wah! The ventriloquist dummy just blew up into pieces.
How is it? How is it?
You were saying?
Nothing.
Okay. You were waiting outside for Regina to come back from the lodging house. Am I mistaken? Is this true? Well, you can't really ask me that question. Who cares if I was waiting for who I was waiting for that night? What's important is what I saw. Don't forget it. I suppose the puppet may be a bit stiff, but he's right. Alright.
Why is Max afraid of his own puppet?
That's Ben that's afraid of the puppet. I don't know.
Why is Ben afraid of his own damn puppet?
I don't know. I think he might be ill. I think he might be ill.
I think he's schizo.
Probably, yeah. There's obviously a reason why the witness was there that night. He spent all this time waiting for Regina to arrive. Moreover, even if someone else would have walked right in front of him, I doubt he would have paid them a second thought. Yeah! That makes perfect sense. What did you say that? The witness saw the defendant scene of the crime. No. However, he did not see the victim on the way to his eventual demise. If you accept that, then you must accept there is a high likelihood that he could have missed someone else other than Max Anning. Ew! There's absolutely no proof that the witness is waiting for the animal tamer. I guess you got me. Alright. I'll spill the beans for real this time. It's true. I was waiting for Regina. Yow! Pain! Don't volunteer things. Mr. Trisk, tell us the truth this time, and I mean the whole truth. Were you or were you not waiting for Regina at the entrance of the lodging house? I was. I was waiting to propose to her. You were what? Waiting to propose? Oh, excuse me. What's the matter? You think humans have a monopoly on marriage? That's... The matter of puppet marriage is not under review in this case. You're the judge. I mean, look at your horrible outfit. No more pain. Thanks to your bumbling, but my perfect plan is not so perfect anymore. Now we have to get to the bottom of some silly proposal by a puppet. Okay.
Can we just shut her up, please?
I hope so. Don't be surprised that
And if anything, I wish someone would just take the whip, break it in half.
I
And
don't
then burn
think...
it.
Yeah. I think that after this game we won't see her again, so that probably might be a good thing. At least from what I hear, I don't know if people are being truthful about that or not. Don't be surprised that I was going to propose to Regina. Even I had something to give her. I kept it in my pocket, waiting for the chance to give it and propose to her. Of course, I had it in my pocket that night. It was a present for her. In the end, I wasn't able to give it to her, so I still have it in my pocket. No, you do not. You do not have that. You were going to propose. You, a puppet. You were not getting ready to propose to her because we have the ring. Don't be so obtuse. Just because I'm a puppet doesn't mean I can't love. You're inanimate. Unless somebody sticks their hand up you. I guess you're right. I mean, just because I'm old doesn't mean that I could propose to her too. Yeah, that would be even more creepy, Your Honor. Exactly. His Honor is really looking less than honorable right now. Okay, Mr. Wright. Please
God
continue
damn, I
your
gotta fight a
cross-examination.
rat hive.
Oh no. What was with that sigh at the end? Okay. There it is. In the end, I wasn't able to give it to her, so I still have it in my pocket. This evidence clearly reveals a contradiction in that statement, Your Honor. How exact... What? I pressed the right one and I showed in the ring! How is that not a contradiction? Are you serious? In the end, I wasn't able to give it to her, so it's still got it in my pocket. I'm pressing it this time. You are still thinking of trying to give it to Regina? Of course I am. I spent 3 months' salary on this thing. I'm not going to give it up that easy. I wonder how much he receives for appearing in the circus. Probably way more than he deserves. How about it, Nick? I think it's time we unwrap this toy's testimony. That's fair, Nick. Give him heck. The judge has that dazed and confused look again. Maybe I should get out more. Maybe he should get out more. Let's press again.
How old is the judge?
I don't know. I can't find any record of his age anywhere, but he's obviously going gray, so he's definitely somewhere in the Middle Ages. Well, baby,
do not know that.
But he's also has very bad wrinkles. Of course, I meant that kind of stupid question is that? I was gonna propose that we become some sort of outlaw biker gang. I wasn't gonna propose that we were gonna become some kind of outlaw biker gang together. Right, Ben? Yeah. Got it? That's the truth. I even had something to give her. What was it that you were planning on giving her? You know exactly I was gonna give her a numbskull. The only thing I could find to match Regina's beauty. Answer the question. What was it? You're gonna die when you hear this. It's an engagement ring. Engagement ring? Wow, those two nearly fell out of their... Von Karma and the judge nearly fell out of their chairs. Mr. Phoenix Wright's joke has gone on too far. Time for the stand right here, right now. Franziska's whip looks like it's about to lash out at almost anything. One hit from that probably shuts someone up for a long time. Pain equals bad or push on anyway. You know what? I'll push on anyway. Maybe it may be something of a joke, but it's a historical moment. The first time a puppet has ever... Mormont. I advise you cut this argument short. I'm going to have to agree with the defense here. Will the witness please revise their testimony? Specifically about the engagement ring, I'd like to stick to the facts, not sociology. You sure enjoy sweating the details, especially for a man in a black bathrobe. Let's press this one.
I don't know why, but I just had to fight a rack hive.
Whose pocket was the ring in? Mine, of course. What a stupid question. You gotta kidding me. You think Ben could pull it off? Sorry. Really? You don't have to apologize for that. He's the one you should be apologizing. Really? Of course I had it in my pocket and it was a present for her. You went to the lodging house to give it to her? That's right. I tried to give it to her during practice so many times, but then that I lost count. But that uppity snob kept getting in the way. Uppity snob? Uppity snob? He couldn't possibly be talking about me, Maximilian Galactica.
You are kind of a dickhead.
Sure. When I get a hold of him, I'm going to saw his wood block in half, and not with magic. Well, they always say that love creates rivalries.
So, I mean, there's probably been guys who are jealous of me, but...
Oh no.
Micro.
Oof. Oof. What about this present? The end, I wasn't able to give it to her, so I have it in my pocket. Can I save again, just in case? So you're still thinking of giving it to Regina?
Let's actually gloss over the fact of what I said, please.
Okay. Of course I can. I spent 3 months around that thing. First I had it in my pocket and I was present for her. In the end, I wasn't able to give it, so I still got it in my pocket. Can I present it now? There we go. Trilo, do you mind if I show you something? What is it? What is it you're talking about? Oh, this looks like they're going to double team me now. Oh no, Ben and Trilo, this should be interesting. Do you recognize this ring? That's mine! Give it back, thief! Thief! Didn't you just testify about this very object? I believe you said, in the end, I wasn't able to give it to her, so I still have it in my pocket. Then, how do I have it right here? Wah! He explodes in a million pieces again. What's going on here? It's... Ben, say something! Don't put me on the spot like that, Trilo.
I feel like bad for Ben, but he's a skit.
I found this in Money's room. Money's room? You mean the room they put money in, like a bank vault? Ha! That filthy monkey's gotta get what's coming to him. Mr. Triss, I would prefer if you would avoid slandering innocent sounds in my court. Well, Your Honor, Money really is a monkey in every sense of the word. Ah, I see. Well then. Money likes to go after the shiniest things that he can gather up and find. Shiny things? Trilo? When this ring was stolen, when was this ring stolen from you? Well, I suppose it was that time, you know, that night. The night of the crime. What did you just say? Details. I need more details. Well, it was stolen right after Max showed up at the plaza. Right around the time you saw the defendant walk past, correct? I guess you might, be able to say that. The ring might have, well, it could have been taken around that time. Ook ook! Ah! No! Ow! He got beaten up by a monkey for the ring. The monkey beat him up for the ring.
I mean, it's a wooden doll.
No, he beat up Ben and the wooden doll to get to the ring because it was super shiny. Man, what's wrong with you? Oh, whatever. It has nothing to do with you, especially not who committed the murder. If it's not for you to decide what it has to do with what. Save. Because I feel something weird coming on now. Now, Trilo, back to the topic at hand. I haven't admitted a thing. Not I, Mr. Triloquist. What?
I want to kill this dumb. It's
This
a
dummy.
puppet.
One's made of skin, one's made of wood, so who's the dummy? Alright, when did you say the ring was taken, Trilo? You know exactly when I did. I chased after the ring snatching monkey money. You weren't able to catch up with him, were you? It's all this slow, loafy fool's fault called... It was all this slow, loafy fool called Ben's fault. Aww. While he was fumbling... This poor man.
Babe, he's a schizo. He has mental problems.
I know. If Ben was a real man, I'd hope he'd get some help. When he was fumbling his way for the snow, that dumb monkey was able to get away. That is an incredible shame. Well, this does need proof one very important point. Proof and very important point? What could that possibly be? Ben doesn't exercise enough or his testimony is flawed. He doesn't exercise enough. No, I'm not saying that. There's a huge contradiction in the witness's testimony. Contradiction? The witness just testified
How dumb does this woman be?
I don't know. Up until
And
the police
not all Germans sound like this.
I know. Up until the moment the police arrived, he didn't
You just
move
make
from
it
the
sound like
entrance.
all Germans are like from Hans and Franz Swedenland.
Swedenland. However, the witness just stated that he chased after the monkey. When the witness was chasing the monkey off, there was no one watching the plaza. What is the meaning of this, Mr. Wright? What are you going on with this little theory of yours? I'm saying that there is no possible way that the witness saw the plaza the entire time. That's where I'm going with this little theory, which leads me to my next point. Is it entirely possible that someone other than the defendant was at the scene? Interesting, Mr. Wright. When then tell me this, Mr. Wright. Do you have any proof that something slipped past this vigilant ventriloquist? Well, he obviously didn't see the victim, the ringmaster, arrive at the scene. However, that does not change the fact that he saw the defendant arrive. The witness is lying. He's blind to his own rivalry with Max. Well, the defense's argument does hold water. The witness does have a history of animosity towards the defendant. What? How dare you? I wouldn't lie just to get that dork face in trouble. He's not even worth it. I saw him. No doubt about it. I saw that worthless liar. Well, just for charity's sake, let's flesh out exactly who you saw that night. I told you many times. I don't know. You think you know my story is not changing. Hi, Deirdre!
Meat grinder. I just realized I have this gun. Whatever.
Nice. You've already changed your story, stick boy, and I'm sure it will change some more. Where there's one lie, there's many more behind it. Exactly, Maya. Which is why we have to keep after him. Yeah. Alright, Max. I'll give you that was waiting for Regine that night. But that doesn't change the fact that I saw Max in the plaza that night. He showed up after I had been waiting for about 5 minutes. He said good evening I said good evening to him, but he didn't even acknowledge my presence. I'm absolutely sure I saw him. That's the million Galactic was at the scene. There's no way I could mistake him with wearing those three ridiculous symbols. So that means that money didn't show up until after you saw Max. That's right. Money ran up in less than a minute after I saw Max. Then Money snatched the ring and you chased after him. How long was it until you came back to where you were waiting? Well, let's see. I'd say about, I suppose, 5 minutes, I think. So the victim arrived at the scene in a 5-minute stretch. Mr. Wright, please proceed with your cross-examination. Alright. Express. So you were only considered with waiting for Regina that night. Does that means you probably wouldn't have noticed if someone else showed up? You should think about how many eyes I actually have. I got 4, 4. Count men, of course. With that many eyes, do you think something would slip by me? 4 eyes is an awful lot of attention directed at one area, I suppose. Yikes, the judge is even more dangerous. The chase is more dangerous to our case than Trilo. It doesn't change the fact that I saw Max that night in the plaza. So, you saw Max coming out of the big shop that night. Of course, that's where I saw him coming from. I was staring at the entrance to the tent the entire time. I guess that makes sense, especially since he was waiting for Regina. What about what time do you say these events took place? You're one of the dumbest people on this plane if you can't figure it out yourself. You already know the practice finished promptly at 10 p.m. And if you already knew that, I went to the lodging house right after practice. You don't need to be a brain surgeon to know what time it was around when I saw him. Just out around 10 minutes more, and I'm sure you can do that. Now, what time was that? Indeed, what time was it? What time was it? Let me think about that for a second. Yow! I'm not good at math. It's 10 p.m. Ah, yes. That sounds about right. That sounds right because it was the time that I saw Max in the scene. I said good evening to him, but he didn't even acknowledge my presence. So you testified that you said good evening to Max that night. You must enjoy incredibly obvious questions. You said good morning in the morning, good afternoon in the afternoon, during the day, right? And it's obvious I'd say good night to someone at night. What then? You got something to add? Let me guess. That's not it, Teresa. You should have said good evening at night. I'm sorry, Trilo. Mr. Trist, I'd prefer if you kept your ventriloquist's act out of the courtroom. Impossible. The performer lives and breathes his performances. You should know that better. He's got something wrong in his testimony. Ben's half of the comedy act. No, I'm not doing that. Your greeting? Isn't that a bit strange to you? What do you mean? Well, if you hate Max so much, why would you bother being nice to him? It strikes me as somewhat strange. Why would it strike you as strange? Exactly. How is it strange to be cordial to one of your coworkers? Well, if it was simply just a cordial to a coworker, I would understand. Yow! That hurt! Maybe you should think of having some proof before your lips start flapping next time. Proof is everything in the world, and you should have learned that back in grade school. There's no reason that Tree would says something nice to Max. But now how am I gonna go prove that with evidence? Override my save. Because of this bubble. Bluffing is everything in the world, but I'm sure you already learned that one. I guess I'll give it a shot. Witness? Well, the witness resume his testimony. I was absolutely sure I saw Maximilian with the scene. There's absolutely no way we're seeing those symbols. Wait, can I save one more for good measure so I don't have to go for that dialogue tree? What about this? There wouldn't be a reason for you to say good evening because he hit you on the head. There we go. Trilo, is it not true that you had a fight with Max on the day of the murder? A fight? A fight over Regina, to be exact. It wasn't a big deal. It was an argument. A disagreement at most. A disagreement usually doesn't end with someone getting clocked over the head. Yeah! That morning, Ben got clobbered over the head by Max, didn't he? What? Isn't that an admission to assault and battery? Youch! Before we handle that, we should wrap up the defendant's murder charge first. The truth is, on that day of the crime, the defendant and witness had a huge fight. There was absolutely no way he would have suddenly become cordial that evening. Moreover, just consider the personality of the witness on the stand. There is no way that a puppet this lewd would have just stand up and said good evening to his rival. Yarr! Are you saying this witness is lying?
Are you that dumb?
I think she might be. That he's trying to frame the defendant by claiming he has done something at the scene of the crime. I didn't say anything away, honestly. That's enough, Mr. Triss. Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. Let us clarify this testimony for the court. Could you explain your theory to who the witness actually saw that night? He saw nobody, he saw the defendant, or he saw a different person?
That's your call, babe.
I'm gonna save and say he didn't see anybody. Of course, the witness did not see a soul that night. I see. Who do you think you are just up and decide what it is I saw that night? A fool can only understand foolish foolery uttered by the most foolish of fools. The witness didn't see anyone. Who? You wouldn't have proof to back up that statement, would you? Gulp. Oh no. No, not save. Load. Someone else? My belief is the witness didn't see somebody that night. It was just somebody else who he said good evening to. What kind of theory is that? A correct one?
Can this woman, babe, people can read. I'm just saying.
Oh. Furthermore, I don't believe that the person that the witness saw was Max at all. What? If you truly met Max that night, there would have been no greeting at all. Which means there's only one proper answer. The person the witness saw was not Maximilian Galactica. That is why Trila made the effort to greet someone who he saw that evening. Or good evening, as he put it. Ah! What's in the what? You? Would the defense kindly explain who it was Trila saw that evening? I don't know what to say! I'm kind of scared. I'm gonna screw this up.
This is why save scumming is a thing.
Yeah, but I can't save right now.
Well, you saved before you said anything, so you know.
True. Who did he see that night? Maybe he saw the victim himself. Yeah, he probably met the victim himself. Considering the ill temper of the witness, there's only one person he would greet. It must be Regina, right? She's so cute. No, Your Honor. It's not Regina. If it was Regina, Trila would have given the engagement ring as a present. Oh, yeah.
Be her
Suppose you got him,
dad.
True. It was Russell Berry, the victim himself, was it not? That you are correct, it was indeed Russell Berry. The person who you saw that evening was the victim, the ringmaster, Russell Berry. That's why you greeted him, Trila. Isn't that correct? Gulp. Answer the question, mistress. Wah! Ah! He blew up again. Order, order! How do you respond to this? Oh, wait a second. Well, at first I thought it was the old man, but once I got a better look at it, it was obviously Maximilian Galactica.
Nope.
I don't buy it. They look nothing alike. Especially considering Russell Berry's very huge mustache.
Is it Carney style, basically?
I'll show you. It doesn't even look like a mustache. It looks more like a toupee almost. Like a very bad toupee. I think it is high time that we clear the air about this question.
Yeah.
Huh. Mr. Triss, obviously...
Oh my gosh, why does he give me the mayor vibes from freaking Powerpuff Girls? He gives me young mayor vibes from Powerpuff Girls.
It's the Maritownvilles. It's the Maritownvilles.
The town city of Townsville is on fire!
Oh, she is. Mr. Triss obviously witnessed a single person in the area of the plaza. Which, the problem is the identity of exactly who the person was. Was it Maximilian Galactica? Or was it the ringmaster, the one Mr. Russell Berry? Prosecution argues that the defendant that he witnessed saw that night. The witness is clearly stated that he saw the defendant's three symbols. The three symbols? Alright, let's get this. This is getting old. Come on. You gotta remember them by now. Here we go again. Everyone, all together now. Yow! Yes, yes, we all know. Silk hat, cloak, white roses. A silk hat and cloak. Anyone could wear them. They'd even look good on me. What was that? Well, the witness has endlessly repeated that he saw Max's three symbols. However, how do we know it was really Maximilian Galactica? It could have been anyone else dressed up as him. Possibly even Russell Berry. What?
Bum 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 na 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 na. Man, I love this gun that regenerates ammo.
Nice. Do you
Sounds
have any
overpowered,
clear
doesn't
evidence? It does, yeah. Do you have any evidence that the person the witness saw was the defendant? Well, the judge ain't having it. If that's the case, then it is impossible for me to make a judgment at this point. Yes, I think we finally won a point in this one. That's very unfortunate. Huh? Just a little too excited for your own good. What do you mean by that? I merely established one thing from this witness. You established that he witnessed one person saw him that night at the plaza. I applaud your effort, but who that person can only be answered by the next witness. Huh? Yana, the prosecution will provide beyond a shadow of a doubt an answer to that question and the evidence that clearly establishes one thing.
Can you just shut up? for 5 minutes in her goddamn life.
There is no one other than Max Billy Galactica responsible for this crime. Very well. The court will take a 10-minute recess. During this time, I request that the prosecutor should prepare their next witness. This court is now in recess. And it is the time... Okay, that's what the time is right now. Yeah, let's say... I might, make someone to eat. So... Or at least maybe a snack of some kind. I'll play this again a little later. Alright, thanks for tuning in, ladies and gents, but unfortunately, my stomach is growling like crazy, so I should probably get a snack of some kind. But take care for now, and I'll see you guys next time.